Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world today. Welcome to TNS TV. I'm Stuart Bloor, joined by the legendary Greg Draper. I've said that a few times in recent weeks. Great to have you back with us, Greg.
Good evening, Rev. Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year.
Well, we're about to get underway, and the lineups have been on the screen. And Greg, TNS win today, 17 wins on the bounce in all competitions.
Yeah, on a fantastic run, and should be big favourites today. Obviously at home, big home advantage. Like you say, on that great run, full of confidence. So I think anything less than a win would be a bit of a surprise today.
Well, we are off. We've had FC Queen's Park under-9s with us as well. So they were the mascots coming out onto the pitch. And we're underway. And ball out of play there for a throw into the New Saints, and captain Chris Marriott takes it. You've played some games with Mazza over the years. Greg is the longest serving player in the squad now.
Yeah, fantastic servant for the club. You know, obviously captain and a fantastic leader that he is. Sets good examples both in training and on a match day. Demands high standards and yeah, just leads by example really. So he's a perfect role model for everyone.
And both of you were part of the team in 2016 that got the name into the Guinness World Records. 27 consecutive wins. Yeah,
it seems a lot longer than that, to be honest. It was an amazing year, obviously an amazing season, and great that I could share that with so many players, so many friends. So it's nice that we got a world record like that to share with everyone.
Well, Greg, we're closing in on that this season, and are we going to do it? That's the big question.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously getting closer with every win. There's obviously some big games coming up over the next few weeks, and more so than obviously Falkirk in the Scottish Cup in a few weeks' time. So that will be a big test. It'll be interesting to see whether we can keep that winning streak going.
Well, that's a free kick there to the Robins. Oswald did well. It was brought down just outside the penalty area. This is Ryan Brobble territory. Of course, he plays for the New Saints on the pitch today for TNS. There's the foul just outside the penalty area in a central position, or just right of centre as the Robins attack. We have a 4-man wall. Connor Roberts on his goal line, making sure there that the wall is in the right place. So Danny Redmond just drops off the wall likewise. Well, Brobble joins it now, so a 5-man wall. Referee taking them back the 10 yards. So they're between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. So a key moment for the Robins early in the game. Just 2 minutes on the clock. Could be Robles, ex-TNS player. He'll fancy a pop at this one. Of course, alongside him, Matty Jones, but it looks like Robles will go for goal. So a 5-man wall in the end. 6-7 if you include the players who are just flanked either side of it. They're positioned. In the end, it's Jones, and Roberts got a touch there over the bar for a corner. Well taken, a free kick. There's the replay on the screen there. Jones, left-footed. Roberts puts over the bar. It's a corner down on the right-hand side. As the players group together inside the penalty area. All TNS players are in there, defending this one early in the game. Corner from the right-hand side. The Robins, as Newtown are known. Into the 6-yard box, headed out. Picked up again, though, by the visitors. Themselves are in 4th place in the table. As we look at it at the moment, the New Saints leading the way, 15 points advantage over 2nd placed Connors Quay Nomads. Robles, he'll have a point to prove today. Greg, I mean, you were at TNS for a good number of years, of course, you saw your career out there. But I guess if you have been a player like Robles, as we see him on the screen there, he moves on, he has a point to prove, doesn't he?
Yeah, he definitely does. I mean, he had, I'm not sure what it was, 2 or 3, very good seasons at TNS. A year or two that I played with him as well, and he's, just extremely effective with what he does, extremely versatile. if it was down to me, I certainly wouldn't have released him based on what he offered and what he did in those seasons that he was here. So yeah, I think he will have a point to prove, and there's that can be very dangerous when you've got a former player coming back and wanting to do everything he can to get 3 points.
See some of the fans there on the screen. Lots of people here today supporting both sides, we must say, but a good TNS contingent. The green and white scarves in the stand opposite. Come the final whistle though, Greg Draper, who will be the happiest, the Robins or the Saints?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Newtown, they look like they're very well organised. So obviously lost the manager earlier this week, and Cal McKenzie's in charge today. So it'll be interesting to see how he sets them up. It looks like they're dropping off a little bit and letting TNS have possession. No doubt they want to try and frustrate TNS as long as they can.
Redmond hooked that one into the box from the left-hand side. Brad Young managed to get a touch to it, couldn't control it. And it's a goal kick, ex-TNS goalkeeper as well, Andy Wycherley. So we both remember him from his time with the New Saints.
Yeah, another one that I played with for a few years. Obviously, he was number 2 behind Paul Harrison. I think he might have been here with Chris Mullock as well. So, number 3 is obviously a long time ago when he was very young. But, goalkeeper with a lot of ability, and he obviously has done really well over the last few years and, got himself a good move to Newtown now.
As Wycherley takes the goal kick. It's a tough one for a goalkeeper, isn't it, when they're having to compete for one spot. But that's Newtown, put the ball into the penalty area. And talking of goalkeepers, Mr. Safe Hands himself, Connor Roberts, clutches that one comfortably. Young turns and couldn't feed that through. That's another ex-TNS player there. Callum Roberts gives that one away. Now it's Jordan Williams, surges down the left-hand side, goes for goal, or was that a cross? I think it was probably an attempt to find the incoming Brad Young, but either way, came to nothing. But we've certainly seen action at both ends so far, Greg Draper.
Yeah, I mean, it's, twice now that TNS have got into the final third, and, Jordan will be disappointed not to hit the target there. Obviously came from his great work rate there to nick the ball off, like you say, Callum Roberts there beforehand, and be disappointed not to test the keeper. Scored
both the goals in the midweek victory against Gillsfield, a team that you're familiar with as well, Greg. You even turned out for them when you hung up your TNS boots.
Yeah, that was what was that? Probably two years ago now. Fantastic club, and obviously. Get on very well with the manager there, Nathan Leonard, who I've known for a long time, and he was very disappointed. Not to make a little bit more of an impact on the game on Tuesday. Although it was tricky conditions, I think TNS were always quite comfortable.
Well, it was a comfortable win in the end. 2 goals, a clean sheet, and into the final of the Nathaniel MG Cup, which is the Welsh League Cup, by the way, for anyone who's not familiar with that competition. And we play that next week down at Barrytown United's Jenner Park as we take on Swansea City. It has been the under-21 side that has featured largely so far for them, though. That will be an interesting game. They do have a first-team game on that day against Southampton, so I guess they'll be looking at keeping with the under-21s. You're not going to be happy if you played your way to the final and then you're pushed out just to give way to a first-teamer, are you?
No, you won't be happy, but I mean, it's happened in the past. It's clubs want to win trophies, so potentially there might be some players there that are on the return from injury or in need of some minutes. So it'll be interesting to see what players turn up next week for Swansea. Yeah.
Redmond played that one in. I think that's Shane Sutton there got a knock to the face, so possibly treatment needed. Referee waves on the physio there. Sutton's down. There's the physio, makes his way across, and he doesn't look serious, but obviously treatment needed and a break in play. Shane Sutton, there's the replay you can see for yourself there. Just a touch there, not intentional. Shane Sutton originally with Newtown went across to Telford and then back to the Robins. So he fled the nest and now he's returned. Needs to go off there. Well, we have a drop ball, no doubt, that will not be contested. A big game for Newtown as well today because they've lost 3 games on the bounce, and that's caused them to slip slightly, although they're just 1 point behind Ballatown. Nevertheless, the Lakesiders have surpassed them in the place, but there's some big games going on elsewhere, of course, because it's a battle for the top 6, and also the relegation battle as well is hotting up. Well, Greg Draper, we have seen 2 goals so far in top flight Welsh football. They've been early goals. Aberystwyth against Barrytown United, that's a 6-pointer if ever there was one. Who's taken the lead?
I think Barrytown might have taken the lead there.
Aberystwyth. Greg, Cardiff Met, who we beat 8-0 last weekend. They're at home to Carnarvon Town. The deadlock's been broken down in South Wales. Who has the lead?
I think Carnarvon might have scored the early one there.
Carnarvon indeed, so you redeemed yourself there, Greg. So TNS with the ball. Young stumbles there, pushed out the way there by Smith, who picks that one up legally, we must add there. Now it's a chance for Newtown. They certainly haven't come just to put players behind the ball and make up the numbers, have they, Greg?
No, they never do. They'll, like I say, they won't go all out attack, but certainly when they do have the ball, they'll be trying to play their natural game, and you know, they've got a lot of players out there that will cause the TNS back for a lot of problems if you know, if we're not careful.
And as we look back over recent seasons, TNS has the advantage, of course, with wins, but Newtown, well, they've certainly picked up the odd win and draw here and there, haven't they? That's what the New Saints has to guard against today.
Yeah, certainly in the early time of my TNS career, Newtown were probably the team that took most points off of TNS. You know, always it was always a bit of the derby around Christmas time, New Year's, so a few double headers, and I remember lots of occasions, yeah, where we slipped up. So it's certainly not a tricky, certainly not an easy opposition to face.
Corner from the New Saints right. It's drilled in low, drops to Smith, shoots, blocked though by the players in front of him, out to Redmond, hooks that one across there to Holden, gets a brief touch, then a more substantial touch there, feeds Smith on the left hand side, likewise to Young. He's up against Robles, cuts in field, stumbles again but recovers. Now it's Smith, a little bit too far out for a pop at goal from there, Leo Smith. Drilled in there by Marriott. Ryan Brobble goes for goal, and that one just over the crossbar there. There's a replay there. Drilled shot, but over the crossbar. Goal kick for Newtown. Wycherley places the ball central in the 6-yard box. Right-footed, high, deep into the TNS half. The heads go up. Then it's with the New Saints on the ground. Chris Marriott, we've already referred to him, of course. Captain Fantastic. Longest serving player in the squad. One of those, quite a number, really, Greg, yourself included, who've racked up a decade or more in the green and white of the New Saints.
Yeah, there is a few, and it's very unusual for players to have that long at a club. But like I say, off the top of my head, myself, Paul Harrison, Chris Marriott, Simon Spender, I think
Phil Baker,
I think
Aaron Edwards. 10, he did 10.
Yeah. Adrian Chislovich.
Yes, this is his 10th season.
10th, so yeah, there's certainly probably a few more players creeping close towards that.
Chris Sargent,
you obviously got the likes of John Routledge as well.
Yeah,
who's probably sneaking up there.
Yeah, but this is Adrian Chislovich's 10th season with the New Saints. So a throw into Newtown though. The Robins down the right-hand side into the TNS half. Ball out of play. Both sides appeal for that throw-in. And I think Oswald thought he'd got that, but it's given to the home team. 13 minutes plus played, and it's still 0-0. The deadlock has yet to be broken. And it's that patient passing football, isn't it, Greg, that the New Saints has always been associated with?
Yeah, I think it has to be patient when teams teams drop off and let us have it, as is happening today. You know, I think if Newtown were to come out and press a little bit higher up the pitch, then obviously those spaces and pockets of space for players to pick the ball up will be there. So yeah, it's just important that TNS stay patient, don't get involved in niggly little bits that are going on at the moment with a few little kickouts by the Newtown players by the looks.
So a free kick to TNS, which will be taken shortly. And Greg, there has been another goal. It's one of the relegation battles. In fact, it is the bottom two. Colwyn Bay to Pontypridd United, who has scored the goal on the North Wales coast.
I would imagine that's a Colwyn Bay goal.
Pontypridd.
Wow.
That's a surprise, isn't it? And talking of long-serving players, Scott Rusco and Steve Evans are reminding me there, of course, Evo at Colwyn Bay now, the manager. He got off to a great start, didn't he, in the second tier, but found it quite difficult in the top flight.
Yeah, I think it's just the jumping standard is very high. Obviously, I played myself in that league, the league below 2 years ago, and it's yeah, you know, you got Airbus who run away with that league for a couple of years and then they get promoted and, you know, really struggle to pick up points in this league. So it's just shows the jumping standard. And, you know, Colwyn Bay, I think over the course of the season, I think Colwyn Bay might just have too much and they might stay up. Fingers crossed, because obviously the league's, you know, fantastic with Colwyn Bay and the support that they get. So fingers crossed they can survive and stay up. But it is going to be very tricky for them.
Newtown break down that potential attack there, and they're still looking to play that one out from the back, which they do. Use their turns 360 degrees, still in the Newtown half. Now it's with well, it's not, because that looked like a potential break down the right hand side there from Oswell, but good play from TNS. But Newtown, as I said earlier, Greg, you made reference to Chris Hughes. He'd been there 10 years. We're talking about decades in football. He'd been there 10 years, and he announced that he was leaving the club. Oh, Young's offside. Wouldn't have counted if he'd have got to it. But that was certainly a surprise, a shock even, really, Greg.
Yeah, like you say, he got off to a bit of a shaky start at the start of the season, and he managed to turn it around, and they went on an unbelievable run. I don't know how many wins it was, but you know, they certainly went from a very poor league position to a very good one. And then obviously, yeah, the last three losses in a row, and certainly the 4-0 loss to Barry probably capped it off. But yeah, you know, been a fantastic manager for Newtown over the 10 years that he was there. Had a great record. So it'll be interesting to see where he ends up next, and interesting to see who Newtown appoint next.
Smith did well there, brought down, no foul given, but TNS do have the ball. That's Brobble to Holden for Young to chase down the right hand side. Holden also surging forward, and that's down on the right. Daniel's not able to get there, so the red shirts, they give that one away there. No foul. The referee had a good look at that one. It's TNS with an opportunity to now push on again and to test Wycherley. Ryan Brobble, he twists, he turns, he curls that one in. Sutton gets the head, only as far as Daniels, ex-Shrewsbury Town winger. Often features as full-back for the New Saints, but with so much possession and so much dominance for TNS, is invariably pushing up there anyway. Likewise, Chris Marriott, who's on the ball now. The left-back and captain, Redmond, given away. Free kick there against Smith. Against Young, should I say. And it was Smith who was fouled. Wycherley to take. All in black, the Newtown goalkeeper today. The team all in red, and the New Saints green and white hoop shirts, green shorts and socks, and the keepers in all purple. Wycherley, right-footed, diagonal down onto the left-hand side. Good play from Smith, though. Broke down the attack there. Williams to Marriott. Then he makes his way forward. Giving away again, though, there by the New Saints. And it's Roberts who hooks that one forward and out for a goal kick that Roberts takes. We're in the 20th minute and no goals as of yet. Looking at the game, Greg, who would you say would be the happier of the two managers at the moment?
I think Newtown will be very happy with how they started. TNS are always going to create chances, always going to cause problems. But I think Newtown will be reasonably happy with how they've started. And
Jordan Williams into the penalty area, tight angle, plays that one across, and again the red shirts of Newtown hold firm, find Robles. He's crowded out, but he's pushed over, and it's a free kick.
Yeah, very clever play by Robles. Brilliant first touch. Knew that he was in trouble with three players around, and just managed to get his body in the way and draw the foul.
There's a replay there. Jordan Williams does very well to dink that one into the penalty area. Tight angle, plays it across, but Newtown held firm. Still a 0-0. 20 minutes played here at Park Hall. It's a beautiful evening. We haven't got the sunset that we had at the Arbroath game, Greg. In fact, I like that one so much. It's my wallpaper on my phone there.
I remember it well. Yeah, it's a fantastic sunset.
It was indeed. Well, it is dark now here and wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us on TNS TV, and as always, a special shout out to our chairman Mike Harris and Rianne, listening to us all the way from South Africa. Header there from Smith, just off the edge of the 6-yard box, but over the crossbar. Roberts will take the goal kick. And there's the replay. Ball played in from the Robins left. Smith gets the header, but well over the crossbar there. Still a 0-0. The deadlock has yet to be broken here at Park Hall. Young. Good ball, but unfortunately no one there to get on the end of it. So good intuition there from Brad Young, but Daniel some distance away from it there. And Greg, you're the manager, of course, of TNS Women, and they're in action this weekend as well, taking on Cardiff City.
Yeah, and they certainly don't come any tougher than Cardiff City. Unbeaten in a year and a half.
That's tough.
I think they've drawn 2 games in that time. So yeah, we're certainly up against it, but we're on a fantastic run, and full of confidence. So we'll just see what happens. We'll go out, enjoy ourselves, work hard, and we'll just take it from there.
Well, there hasn't been a goal between Penabont and Connaskea Nomads, but there has been a red card. So Connaskea down to 10 men down there on the South Wales coast. Still Carnarvon leading against Cardiff Met. Pontypridd 1-0 up at Colwyn Bay, and Aberystwyth lead by that 1 goal against Barrytown United. Still early days, of course. 0-0 here at Park Hall. The Robins well organised, passing the ball well, and probably not as much a goalmouth action as the New Saints. But we know what they're capable of, and back at Latham Park earlier in the season, although TNS won 2-0, we had to wait until just into the final third, and then for the second goal it was 90 plus 3, so it was Josh Daniels, Ben Clark, always a tough one against Newtown.
Yeah, they certainly started really well here. They're passing it around really nicely. They're being brave and playing under pressure. They're not just sort of lumping it as some teams do when they come here. And and they've already created one really good chance where Smith should have done much better in the header on the 6-yard box. So yeah, they're certainly causing some problems.
And there will be a Player of the Match award today as well. I assume someone's here from Enstone Distillery, because, Greg, we haven't been asked to choose today. So I imagine that either Henry or Chris, they're over there, they're watching the game, and they'll be choosing their man of the match. So we can talk about that aspect of things, can't we? If we were choosing, who would we go for? But it's a free kick to the New Saints. It's out on the left-hand side, and as is often the case, Marriott and Brobble both there. No doubt that will be Ryan Brobble's ball. Northern Ireland under 21 international, Ryan Brobble. Born in England, but he does have Irish roots, both in the north and the south, and also in the Netherlands as well. So sport for choice as far as international representation was concerned. He went for Ulster. Right-footed, Ryan Brobble into the mix. Sutton gets the header only as far as Marriott. Then between them is Robles, and that ball sliced up there. But fortunately for us, Greg, it hit Mr. Gantry.
Thought it was going to be on your head for a minute there, Rev.
Smith sprays that one out on the right-hand side to Daniels. On the deck. Runs into trouble, though, and in the end it's Roberts who hooks that one forward. Nodded down, though, by the New Saints. Danny Davis, centre-back this afternoon with Josh Pask. Ryan Astl's out injured. He'll be missing for the season. Craig Harrison gave us an update in the press conference yesterday. Still a 0-0, 25 and a half minutes gone. The New Saints, the league leaders, the champions of Wales. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Well, it's afternoon where we are. It might be morning for you. It might be evening. It might be the middle of the night. If you are, well, we commend you for tuning in and following the action. Holden back to Davies, keeping the ball, the New Saints, as we said earlier. Lots of patient, passing, probing football for TNS. Looking to find a gap where they can exploit the Newtown rear guard. 1 or 2 attempts so far, but as of yet, Wycherley not seriously tested. Likewise, Roberts at the other end, who's on a fantastic run of form at the moment. He saved a penalty against Gilsfield. He's now saved a penalty in 4 different competitions this season. That's impressive.
Yeah, I think it was the Carnarvon game early on where he saved a penalty, and I said then, you know, he's the best saver of penalties that I've played against. You just back him every time, really, and you know, he's certainly having a fantastic season.
He is indeed. Good play down on the right-hand side there for Williams for the New Saints into the penalty area, but Wycherley read that one well, and he gathers that, makes his way to the edge of the box, bounces it, passes the ball behind him, and then launches that one high, deep into the TNS half, and St Marriott who got an initial touch there as the New Saints again surging forward. Ball from Brobble for Young to chase. Wycherley does well, goes down, he's outside the penalty area, used his feet well there, the goalkeeper. Ball still in play, just beneath us on the gantry as well. Brobble gives that one away to his number 8 counterpart, Evans. Now he's down into the penalty area, down on the right-hand side as the red shirts make their way forward. Then launched into the penalty area itself, the ball, but again the New Saints players dealt with that one comfortably. Brobble just on the outside of his right boot there. Smith always looks dangerous when he has the ball coming forward, and attacking midfielder Leo Smith. Curling ball there from Brad Young, worth a pop, but just wide of the left post. Yeah, the fans again there watching the action this afternoon. There's Brad Young, set himself up, rode the challenge, right-footed, and slightly over and slightly wide, but it's worth a go from that distance, and certainly when you're on fire like Brad Young, full of confidence.
Yeah, I think so. It's obviously, you know, really good position there. He's done well to skip inside. Shane Sutton there, who just got caught diving in, and again, you know, it was a good effort, but again, he'd be disappointed, you know, with the ability that he's got not to hit the target there.
Did you find yourself, Greg, as a striker, that when you were playing with confidence, i.e. scoring goals, that's what it's all about, that you found yourself more likely to have a speculative effort such as that one, rather than maybe when your confidence isn't quite what it should be?
I always knew what I was capable of, so I had very few shots from outside the box, to be honest. Maybe if it sort of sat up nicely on the volley, but I was never fantastic at striking a ball from distance. I was more a 6-yard penalty spot kind of striker. So, but yeah, obviously when you are scoring goals, the confidence levels go up, and you certainly back yourself a lot more than if you're not scoring goals week in, week out.
Well, Greg, I used to describe you when you were playing and we were doing TNS Radio as a in the right place at the right time striker.
That was exactly me, yeah. So, I was very fortunate with the players that I was playing with. 9 times out of 10 I could get away with just standing in the 6-yard box, maybe the penalty spot, and have Simon Spender, Jamie Mullen, Chris Marriott, Chislovich, and all these brilliant players just finding me in lots of space in the box, and my job was quite easy most of the time.
Some attention there for Leo Smith, but he's back up on his feet. He'll be okay, and he'll be back on the pitch in due course. Another player you mentioned there, Jamie Mullen, 10 years?
I think it would have been 10 years, would it?
Yeah, possibly.
No, I don't think it was.
No, was it? Not quite.
Me and Simon Spender joined the same season. Jamie Mullen came after and left at the same time as me and Spender, so I think he probably done 9 years.
9 years.
I put my money on with, yeah. Definitely wasn't 10.
Smith again for Newtown. Down on the right-hand side to Evans. Hits that first time, low one into the penalty area. Straight, though, to the green and white shirts of the New Saints. It was Holden back defending there inside the box. Young to Redmond. Switches play. Daniels chests that one down and then shows too much of that to Roberts. Cleared, but still with the New Saints again. 31 minutes played. Based on what you've seen so far, Greg, are we going to witness a goal in the first half?
I think there's definitely going to be some more chances. I think both teams have had chances that they'd have liked to have done better with. And this Newtown 11 are holding out really well. I think they're starting to frustrate TNS, as we see a bit of sloppy play there from Pask, who's passed the ball out under no pressure. So fingers crossed for TNS that they can just tidy up on a few things, and no doubt they'll create more chances.
So still a 0-0 here at Park Hall. Thank you for tuning in to us today, wherever you are in the world, on our international live stream broadcast. At Newtown, can they create something there? No, they can't, because TNS do well defensively. Then there's an error, and it's an attempt on goal from Hughes just outside the penalty area. But in the end, Roberts comfortable with that one. Gets the New Saints again back underway. Redmond flicks that between the defenders, and Roberts leaves it for the outcoming Wycherley, and Davis gets the header. Still a 0-0. Smith couldn't quite feed that one into the path of Rory Holden. Then it's Newtown who give it away again to the New Saints. Brobble down on the left-hand side, cuts in field on his right foot. Lays that one off to Marriott. Cowan's made a nuisance of himself there, but couldn't win the ball back, but keeps the New Saints pegged back. It's that final third that TNS are looking to get into and to create something. Young leading the line today. Ex-Aston Villa player, was part of the squad that won the Youth Cup not that long ago against Liverpool. The Robins, do they win a free kick? Yes, they do. Out on the left-hand side. I think TNS are perhaps lacking a little bit of spark this afternoon, Greg, or would you just say that Newtown are up for it and they're on top of things themselves?
Newtown are certainly up for it. They're working very hard. I think just TNS has just been, certainly the last 15-20 minutes have been extremely sloppy, giving the ball away under no pressure whatsoever. And this Newtown team, like I said, if you keep giving them the ball back, they're gonna get themselves up the pitch, and they've got a lot of players there that make things very difficult, and will win free kicks and set pieces for you in dangerous areas like they have done now.
They've got another opportunity there. Just 2-0 scores at the moment. Both of them involving the top two. As the free kick comes into the penalty area, Smith chests that one down, plays it out to Brobble out on the left-hand side. Dispossessed though, looking confident there. The Robins, not afraid to go back into their own half to keep possession and assess the situation, which they do, and Pask wins the header there against Robles. Drops there though to the visitors this afternoon, and they're still with the ball. 35 minutes gone, and thank you for joining us on TNS TV as we go around the world. Well, come on, Greg. Well, we've got a goal kick there. Let's test your predicting skills. Well, Roberts takes that one quickly for the New Saints, but there's been a goal between Haverfordwest County and Bala, who's 1-0 up.
I think Bala have gone 1-0 up.
Haverfordwest.
Have they? So it keeps the top six race alive.
Very, very interesting, doesn't it? Because it's them and Carnarvon, isn't it, that we're looking at especially. Colwyn Bay still 1-0 down against Pontypridd. 0-0 here at Park Hall, of course, and 0-0 between Penabont and Connors Quay and Nomads. As the rain, the drizzle starts to fall on the sides that are out there. But Greg, we're not under a nice dry gantry here, and with no wind as well. It's not blown any rain into our faces.
Yeah, we're doing all right at the moment, Rev. As Leo Smith gets into the box.
Played that one across there, but again dealt with by the Robins. Pask thought he was going on a run there. The central defender, ex-Coventry City, started his career at West Ham United under David Moyes. Never played for the Hammers, but moved to Coventry and featured in the Championship on a number of occasions. Newport County as well. Now it's the New Saints. Brad Young goes for goal from outside the box. What a goal! Absolutely fantastic strike in the 37th minute. We'd been singing his praises, and he delivered there. Brad Young outside the penalty area, right-footed. Greg Draper never scored goals like that, but Greg, what a pleasure it is to watch them, especially when it's to someone in a green and white shirt.
Yeah, it was a brilliant finish. I'm not sure who it was. I think it was Shane Sutton who's dropped off him for some reason and allowed Brad Young to get on the turn, and obviously got a fantastic shot and finish away. But I think the Newtown manager there will be very disappointed that he's allowed that time and space on the edge of the box.
Yeah, certainly had space there, didn't he? Was able to turn, strike, unleash the shot, past Andy Wycherley to his left, and it's 1-0 to the New Saints. And it's Brad Young who's broken the deadlock here at Park Hall. Robins, though, immediately down the other end. They want to get one back as soon as possible if they can. They have a long throw down near the corner flag. Players are positioned as if it were a corner anyway. But they're going to launch this one into the penalty area. Sutton's there just on the edge of the 6-yard box. That's who they go for. Heads go up, but it's the New Saints who managed to get it out of the penalty area for now. Then all the way back to Roberts, who was also at TNS for a period as well. Initially came on loan from Shrewsbury Town and also played at Connors Quay Nomads. Now he's exchanged the red of the Nomads for the red of the Robins. He's been there for a number of seasons. Well, Greg, has that goal livened things up? Do you think it'll change things, perhaps how either side looks at the game in the remaining 7 minutes or so?
Yeah, I'll be interested. I mean, obviously TNS aren't going to sit back now. They've got that goal. They're going to want to go out and get 2, 3, 4 as soon as they can. I think Newtown now will be happy to just sort of sit back, frustrate TNS, and try and get to half-time with that 1-0 deficit, and try and reshape and regroup during the half-time break.
Well, you don't want to go in 2-0 down against TNS, do you? If it's 1-0, well, there's not much you can do about it once that ball has found the back of the net, and what a strike it was. Perhaps disappointed that they gave Young too much space and time. There's Robles, is crowded out. He manages to keep the ball, though. He'll certainly have a point to prove. Likewise, Callum Roberts there. He's on the ball now. Roberts hits that first time low into the penalty area. Straight to Redmond. Traps, controls, skips the challenge. He's fouled, and it's a free kick to the New Saints. Danny Redmond back up on his feet. The free kick's taken. And the New Saints continue to push on. That's Brad Young's frustration there. Ran the ball out of play and bounced it off the boards behind the goal. Aberystwyth lead against Barrytown United 1-0. The New Saints obviously 1-0 up here against Newtown. Carnarvon 1 up on the road at Cardiff Met. And likewise Pontypridd at Colwyn Bay. Haverford West County have their nose in front against Ballatown, and it's a 0-0 between Penabont and Connors Quay Nomads. Well, I'm looking at this red card there. It's not actually 10 against 11, is it? Because the red card is Neil Gibson. So it's the manager that's been sent off. Newtown still pushing on. That's surely a push there on Daniels. So it is still 11 against 11, Greg.
And the score is 0-0.
Neil Gibson, who's been sent off.
Looks like he's had 2 yellows.
Yeah,
so,
2 yellows and then
obviously had too
red.
much to say, as usual.
Too much to say in the space of 60 seconds. Roberts for Newtown tries to feed that to Robles. TNS alert though, 1-0 up, but still looking for that second goal before the break. We're played 41 and a half minutes, still plenty of time for TNS to push on. Swept out there by Brobble to Daniels. The two of them interact with the ball. Now it's Daniels comes in field. It's on his left foot, plays that one into Young. Can he get a touch to it? Backheels it, but the flag goes up. Still a 1-0. Reminded me of the old days down there, Greg, what we were talking about earlier. The interaction on the right-hand side between Simon Spender and Jamie Mullen.
Yeah, exactly that. And obviously when Ryan Brobble gets involved as well, it's, there's nothing else in your mind as a striker other than getting himself in the 6-yard box. And it'd be interesting to see a replay of that, because I don't actually think that he was offside there, but it was a very close one.
See if we can get a replay on that one coming up on the screen right now. Greg's not sure that that's offside. Have another look, Greg, if we can get a replay on that one. Next time there's a stoppage, we'll have a look at the incident. There you go, Greg. What do you think?
I think I was wrong, Rev, and I think he's probably a good yard offside.
Yeah, slowed down for us there, so we had the benefit of VAR, or as close as you can get to it, and he was offside there. The assistant made the right decision as Greg Draper hangs his head in shame. 1-0 to TNS, just a couple of minutes to go before the board puts in an appearance. Swept out on the left-hand side there by Sutton as he then makes his way back. Everybody except Wycherley in the TNS half. Newtown would love to get a late equaliser that would take the sting out of TNS, but the New Saints have plans of their own. Redmond gives that one away there. Poor ball from Redmond to use. Then he plays that one just straight into the New Saints half with no one there. A little bit sloppy at times.
Yeah, I think Newtown are working so hard to win the ball back, but when they do have the ball, they really need to start looking after it a lot better. Obviously on different pages there, I think it was Hughes and Robles. Robles wanted it to feet, Hughes wanted it over the top, so they've just given the ball straight back to TNS.
And TNS give it straight back to Newtown. I asked you earlier, Greg, who would be the happier the two managers at that point of the game. Here we are heading towards the half-time whistle. If it stays 1-0, would you perhaps go for Craig Harrison to be the happier? As Young races forward, Wycherley does well there. comes outside the penalty area, gets a right foot to that, and it's a throw into the New Saints. So would Craig Harrison be the happier now, do you think?
Sorry, I don't think he'll be happy. Be happy that we're 1-0 up, but I think certainly of how they've played in this first half, I think he'll be going in at half time and wanting to see a much better performance in the second half.
Yeah, it's not just about goals, is it? It's also about performances. And as you say, perhaps not too happy with what he's seen this afternoon. It is a free kick, though. Holden fouled. He gets back up, and it will be an opportunity for TNS to perhaps play that one back. And as we made the comment just now that all the players were in the New Saints half, well, they're all in the Robins half now, except, of course, for Connor Roberts. Roberts, the goalkeeper. There will be a minimum of 1 minute at the end of the game. 3 minutes. One minute. It is 1 minute, Greg.
Sorry, Rev. I misheard Stato there on the.
I thought it was 1 minute, and
tannoy.
You were making gestures there with your fingers.
Yeah, no, sorry, Rev. I'll keep quiet from now on. I've got my side wrong, and I've got the injury time wrong, so I'll just stick to the on-field actions.
It just makes me feel better, Greg, when you get things wrong. It makes me appreciate how fallible I am. TNS 60 seconds or so to push on and get that second goal, but of course Newtown have ideas of their own. So free kick there in favour of the New Saints. It's getting feisty in these last 60 seconds or so.
Yeah, and that'll certainly be something that they've talked about and targeted. Oswell, is a very physical striker. He likes to put himself about, shall we say, and certainly make it difficult for defenders. And he's caught Leo Smith around the head there, I think, with a flying arm, by the looks of it.
So a goal in all the games except at the SDM Glass Stadium. It's Panabont 0, Conisky Nomads 0. And if the score lines were to stay the same, TNS would increase the lead to 17 points at the top of the table with just 10 games to go. But of course, still lots of football to be played, not only down there in Bridgend, but also here in Oswestry. Penabont and Croesoswallt in Welsh, respectively. Marriott to Pasg as the New Saints continue to push on. Into the box there for Wycherley to gather comfortably. And thank you for joining us. We'll be taking a break of sorts during the half-time period. Hopefully you'll do the same and join us again for the second half commentary. I'm Stuart Bloor, joined by TNS club legend, all-time leading goal scorer, and the manager of the women's side, Greg. Greg, it was 3 minutes.
I knew I was right. I wouldn't be wrong twice in one game.
Yeah, it is 3 minutes, and the whistle goes, and just on the 48 there, it's half a time. There are the fans there on their feet, off into the backroom facilities to get watered and fed. We're on the gantry looking out over the new stand there that has been constructed this season, not quite in time for the European campaign, but certainly next time round. Not counting any chickens yet, but assuming TNS do play in Europe, which we have a very, very healthy lead at the top of the table, we'll be able to witness some European nights here at Park Hall. Some of the highlights from the first half. There's that free kick that the Robins had early on in the game, where the New Saints lined up an impressive wall, but Over and Roberts are taking no chances. Got a touch to that one, put it behind for a corner. It's TNS on the attack, and Ball into the penalty area, and that one whistled over, drilled over the crossbar there. There's Jordan Williams. Nice little dink there. Past Roberts into the penalty area. Played that one across, but at that stage the Newtown defence were holding out, and they continued to keep that a clean sheet. This was Smith as the ball comes over. He gets a clean header, but unfortunately over the crossbar. There's TNS again on the attack. Brad Young skips the challenge on his right foot and curls that one, unfortunately for TNS, into the stand behind and not the back of the net. There's Brad Young. Not very happy at that stage, of course, but the best was yet to come. As the number 23 broke the deadlock. Ball played in. There he is, Brad Young. Curls that one past the keeper into the back of the net. It's 1-0 to the New Saints. Greg, do you think that's a deserved 1-0 lead?
Tricky one. Newtown have looked really good. They've obviously had a great chance with a header themselves. Probably on the balance of chances created, I suppose, probably TNS just deserved to edge it, but they have been very sloppy at times as well. So like I said, Craig Harris will certainly be wanting to see an improvement in the second half, and not just more goals but a much better performance as well.
Well, we're going to take a break and we'll be back in due course. It's 1-0 to the New Saints against Newtown on this JD Cymru Premier Match Day 21 encounter. Welcome back to Park Hall, welcome back to the JD Cymru Premier, and welcome back to TNS TV. We'll be underway shortly for the second half. I'm Stuart Bloor, and I'm joined by club legend Greg Draper. Joining me on the gantry, as you can see, it's a tremendous view from up here. Got a great view of the pitch, and of course the camera as well at pitch side, which has picked up Brad Young there. His goal separates the teams as we head on into the second half. We're underway shortly. Greg, are we likely to see goals in this second period?
Yeah, I think, Newtown, I think, are going to have to come out and, press a little bit higher up at the pitch than what they did in the first half. No doubt that will leave a lot more space for TNS to try and exploit. I think if TNS can tidy up on a few things, just improve on just keeping safe possession and, no doubt the more they keep the ball, the more chances they'll create.
Well, of course, Newtown have guaranteed themselves a top 6 spot already going into this fixture. But the higher you get up the table, the more advantageous it becomes in the playoff systems, because you can then keep home advantage in both the semi-final and the final. They're all one-off games there. But for now, it's the action here at Park Hall. Ryan Brobble into the penalty area for Holden. Gets the shot, and great save there from Andy Wycherley. Perfect opportunity for TNS to go 2-0 up there. There's Young, Sutton as well.
Yeah, already that's a great chance for TNS here in the early stages of the first half. He's made a great run in behind the back four there, Holden, and he's hit the target. I think the keeper committed to the far post quite early. He's managed to pull off a good save with his feet there.
There's Williams for Newtown. Ball cleared as far as Cowans, though, on his right foot. There's a deflection, but it's into the penalty area. It's in the back of the net. The Robins have equalised in the 47th minute, and we'll get to see the replay there. Well, I was almost going to say, Greg, will TNS live to rue that mistake just now, or at least that save there from Wycherley? And there we have it. It's Cowans plays that one in from the right-hand side. It's in the back of the net. It's 1-1.
Yeah, Oswell, very dangerous in the air, always a threat. Cross has actually taken the deflection off Josh Pask, I think, and it's Oswell who's, I think it's Leo Smith that he's got above. Leo Smith claiming for a little elbow in the back there, but you've got to expect that sort of pressure there, and Connor Roberts had no chance in the TNS net.
Well, not what the doctor ordered as far as TNS is concerned, but what it does show is that teams like Newtown will never give up the ghost. As long as it's 1-0 especially, they'll keep coming because they know that they can get that equalised. They will create chances, and sometimes they'll put them away like they did there.
You just look at the attacking players that they've got on the pitch. Oswell obviously just scored that one. They've got Aaron Williams, who's scored a lot of goals. Louis Robles, always a threat in front of goal. So as long as they can stay in the game, if they can get the ball forward, then they're always a massive chance of scoring.
No clean sheet for the New Saints today. There's 6 in the last 7 games. Just at 1 goal conceded, which was against Carnarvon Town on Boxing Day. We were here then, Greg, and it's 1-1 now. But the New Saints are looking to get back into the lead as Daniels plays that one across, and it's headed clear outside the penalty area. So foul there. There's the replay there. So TNS into the penalty area. It was an ideal opportunity, but not able to convert that one. But a good save from Andy Wycherley against Rory Holden.
It was a good save. I think Rory Holden actually had a little bit more time than he thought. I think he probably could have took another touch just to settle himself and maybe make the keeper commit a little bit more than he already had. So, yeah, again, disappointing not to score. Newtown have gone down the other end. 30 seconds later, it's in the back of the net.
And Greg, we are due to get the player of the match today. I said at the start that we hadn't been notified. Well, we have now, and we're going to have to choose a player of the match. As you cast your eye over the first 45 and a few minutes in, any possible contenders there, sort of floating around in the back of the mind there, Greg?
Yeah, I think every time Brobble's had the ball, he's looked very dangerous. He very rarely gives the ball away anyway, and he always sort of creates chances. So he started really well. Be interested to see how he finishes the game. Brad Young's obviously scored a tremendous goal. But I think in general, he's given the ball away a little bit cheaply at times. So at the moment, I think Ryan Brobble, as always, is a danger man, and he's certainly started the game very sharply.
Well, he's always in the mix, isn't he? There, so manhandled a little bit there by Roberts, pushed the Newtown defender away as TNS have the ball again. 50 minutes gone. 40 left for TNS to get back into the lead. It's Brobble in the penalty area. Tight angle. Will he go for goal? He turns. Left-footed. Can't get the shot in. But can Holden? In the end. It's Wycherley with the ball. Let's look at all that commotion going on there in the penalty area. There's Ryan Brobble. Holden in the end manages to get the shot, but Wycherley does well to hold on that occasion.
Wycherley's done really well there to gather that there. I thought it was actually a rebound off a defender on the line there, and it's bounced back into Wycherley, but he's actually blocked the shot from I think it was Holden who had the last shot there. So brilliant play by Brobble. Very tricky. Newtown have done well to escape that one.
Well, Wycherley takes his gloves off because he's getting some treatment now, I think. Did well, Andy Wycherley, ex-TNS goalkeeper. So 1-1 here at Park Hall between the New Saints and Newtown. Referee there, chatting with some of or at least talking with some of the Newtown players. Shane Sutton, the captain. It's Callum Roberts. Maybe they're not happy with something, but they all walk and part company amicably. So Wycherley has the ball. Will be a drop ball and not contested. Puts his gloves back on. We're heading towards 52 minutes. The players have already grouped to Wycherley's left, straddling the halfway line. Most of them though in the Newtown half at the moment. Ball dropped. Wycherley picks, bounces it a couple of times, makes his way to the edge of the area, right-footed into the TNS half. Looks for Oswell, and he's hooked forward. Robles is against Davis, just outside the penalty area. TNS need to be careful there, of course. Robles does very well. There's a header back, though, to Redmond, who gratefully hooks that one away. Well, rather than sitting back on a 1-1, they look like they're pushing for a second goal, Newtown. Yeah, no, Newtown, they're definitely coming in for 3 points. A brilliant play again by Robles on the left, putting a lovely cross to the back post. Oswell, I think he'd be disappointed not to. I think he was trying to nod it down to Williams there, but he's got too much on it, and thankfully for TNS, it's landed at defender's foot, and he's able to hook it clear. But more great play from Newtown, and they're certainly playing with confidence at the moment. Daniels down on the right-hand flank. Ball comes off Jones there. It's a throw into TNS. That's taken quickly, which it would be anyway if TNS were 3 or 4-0 up. It's always that sense of urgency and fluidity about the New Saints. It's one of the characteristics, Greg, isn't it? It could come to a game 8-0 up against Cardiff Met last week, and you wouldn't think that TNS were cruising. You'd think it was 0-0 and now chasing the winner. Yeah, it's what it's all about. It's obviously that using those fitness levels to TNS's advantage. They want to wear the opposition out as quickly as they can, and you just look to the bench now as well, and you look at the impact that's on there. No doubt the two benches could have a deciding factor on the result, and you look at the two benches. There's no doubt that TNS is much stronger than what Newtown has available on the bench. Yellow card there and a free kick to TNS just outside the penalty area. Certainly a tight angle, but as far as Ryan Brobble is concerned, certainly worth a pop at goal from that distance. Well, Marriott makes his way across. It will be Brobble to take this one. Referee brings the two-man wall back into the penalty area, deeper still. Sprays the pitch, and Ryan Brobble, look at those players grouped in the 6-yard penalty area there. More players in the 6-yard box than outside of it. Brobble, right-footed, goes for goal, drills it. Another great save there from Wycherley.
That was a great save by Wycherley there. I was just thinking beforehand that, Brobble can just whip it as hard as he can. There's a lot of bodies in front of the keeper there. It's exactly what he's done. Whether the keeper had a good sight of it or not, we'll find out with this replay.
6-yard box. Whoa, that was goal bound, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think he'd have seen that till quite late.
No.
So that's a brilliant save.
Excellent save there from Andy Wycherley. Roberts, his counterpart at the other end, nice and calm there. Against Smith into the path of his defenders. And it's Marriott to Redmond. Back in field to the captain. Smith to Marriott. Now it's Brobble again down the right-hand side. Good chip there from the midfielder, but a little bit too much weight on it. And of course, Andy Wycherley having an excellent game so far. He was alert to the challenge there. Edge of the box. Brad Young making sure that he doesn't have the luxury of rolling that one forward, but he opts for the kick anyway. So Smith gets a touch there for the New Saints. Brobble turns, but can't get on the end of it. Does win a throw-in for the New Saints. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. And a little chilly where we are, Greg. Not as bad as it has been in recent weeks, but our chairman and Rianne are down there in the sunnier part of the world, the southern hemisphere, where it's summer rather than winter.
It's all right for some, isn't it?
says green with envy there, Greg Draper.
No, never jealous of Mike Harris. Don't worry about that.
Greg, of course, you've played football in the Southern Hemisphere, New Zealand international.
Yeah, actually in New Zealand it is, the football season runs over the summer there, so it's, I must say, something that I really enjoyed. Obviously it's, football naturally is a winter sport, but when you've got the chance to play in the warm sunshine, it's certainly very enjoyable as well, as long as it's not too hot, of course.
Pask gets the ball back from Young, still in the TNS half. Redmond, as a famous footballing father, if you're a Manchester City, Bury or Rochdale fan, you'll be well aware of the name Steve Redmond. Played hundreds of appearances for the three clubs combined. Wycherley, on the end of that, ball in from Redmond, clears. Pask with the header to Williams. Pask again, this time chested down to Marriott. Cross to Davis. The New Saints are with the ball. Smith. Brobble to chase against Roberts down on the TNS right. Roberts does well there. Almost showed too much of that to Williams. Now it's Newtown. Robles. Can he get on the end of that one? He can. Roberts gets both hands to it, pushes it away, and it's the New Saints who gratefully bring that one out. 16 games on the bounce for TNS, Greg. Are we going to make it 17 as things stand at the moment?
It's looking interesting at the moment. I mean, that was a great chance again for Newtown, and it was a half-decent cross from Robles. I think he'd be disappointed not to pick out Williams in the middle there. And Connor Roberts done really well there to punch the ball away to safety, but they certainly look really dangerous when they're breaking on TNS at the moment.
They do indeed. They've got all their players back into their own half. Well, as I say, that's one or two step forward and then back again. Just Williams in the TNS half. And talking of Williams, it's Jordan down on the left-hand side. Keeps that one in. Low ball in. It's Brad Young. Turns, gets his shot in. It's blocked again. The New Saints not able to capitalise on that. Great ball through to Jordan Williams and then into the penalty area. Redmond to Young. Up against Sutton. Now Daniels down on the right hand side, gets the ball back from Bravo, infield to Redmond. Nice little chip into the box for Williams, gets the touch, it's in the back of the net. The New Saints are 2-1 ahead. Greg, I just said, we're going to see something interesting happening. Well, we just have, haven't we? And it's Jordan Williams.
Yeah, lovely ball from Redmond. He had bags of space there. It was actually really good movement from Jordan Williams as well. He's come short, looked for it to feet, and then he's spun in behind. And Redmond's got fantastic vision. He's obviously seen that early, and managed to execute the pass lovely as well.
Great chip there from Danny Redmond. Jordan Williams chipped that one over the keeper into the back of the net. He scored twice against Gilsfield, and he was in the dressing room earlier, Greg, and I went in. I didn't record this or anything, but I can say now, of course. And I spoke to him and said, "Are you going to score today, Jordan?" And he says, "I am." And there we go.
That's confidence for you. Yeah, no, it was great movement to get there, but obviously then to execute the finish as well. And you've got the keeper sprinting at you, so you're worried about getting clattered, but he's done well to get his foot there, and brilliant finish.
The New Saints have their nose in front. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Jordan Williams there, great turn. Or this morning or this evening, wherever you may be in the world, because of course it's our international live stream broadcast. Given away there though, and the red shirts have the ball, but back with the New Saints. Good play there from Leo Smith. Now to Ryan Brobble. Low ball in, tantalisingly across the 6-yard box, but out. I think there was a touch there. So it's out for a corner to TNS. Marriott will take this one. It's on the TNS left-footed. Players into the penalty area. That's where the red shirts are. They don't want to go 3-1 down, of course. As long as it's 2, they have a chance. But the New Saints want to capitalise on all the opportunities that they can get, but not like that. Jordan Williams touched the ball and over for a goal kick. As Jordan Williams scored a brace in the week against Gilsfield in the Nathaniel MG Cup, which is the Welsh League Cup. The New Saints are in the final next Saturday down on the south coast of Barrytown United, to be precise, Jenna Park. Chance for some early silverware. We haven't been in that competition final since 2017-18, Greg. That was at, you remember the game, that was against Aberystwyth. No, it was at Aberystwyth against Cardiff Met. Jamie Mullen scored the only goal of the game.
Yeah, I remember that. I actually didn't take part in that one. I had, I think it was an ankle injury at the time, so didn't take part in that one. And yeah, like you say, it's a competition that we certainly haven't won as often as what we should have. Yeah,
we're still the team that's won more than anyone else. Jordan Williams goes for goal. There's a deflection, and in the end, it's Cowan's back defending. He's happy to bring that under control and just pump that forward. Looks for Williams. He does get the header, but all he does is assist that into the path of Leo Smith. It's a competition, the Nathaniel MG Cup, the Welsh League Cup, that began in 1992 with the birth of the League of Wales as it was then. And TNS has won that more than any other team on 9 occasions. No free kick to TNS, but Daniels does well. Skips into the penalty area and taking no chances at all there. Jones puts that behind for a corner. It's out on the TNS right, and it will be a Brobble to take. And again, the red shirts get back into the box. 2-1 down, you're still in the game, but 3-1, it's always going to be difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not going to have many more chances. I just think they're starting to run out of a little bit of steam, maybe. They're struggling to get up the pitch quite as often as what they were in the first half. So yeah, they certainly won't want to be conceding another goal. Whilst it is 2-1, anything can happen, but it's looking more and more like TNS are starting to get on top now.
And that's what the New Saints want, of course, to dominate the game as far as possession is concerned, but more importantly, get that third goal. So Marriott out to Brobble on the right-hand side, pull back there. That'll be a free kick and a yellow card there.
Yeah, I think there's just too many silly little fouls now. Brobble, obviously a very tricky player, and he's just been dragged back there, and it's a blatant yellow card.
There's the replay there. Brobble pull back, and a yellow card there for Jones. And it's Marriott to take this one out on the right-hand side. He's left-footed, looking to play that one in. He does, and players rise, but into the arms of Wycherley. So 2-1 to the New Saints. We played 65 minutes almost. Clock is important to watch when you're 2-1 up, and even better if you're 3-1, but if it's 2-2, well, the next goal, Greg, if there is one, of course, is going to be a massive one, isn't it? Because it either puts TNS into a comfortable position, or it's a lifeline and game on as far as Newtown's concerned.
Yeah, I think if Newtown want to get anything out of this game, it's important that they score the next goal. 3-1 will just be far too much for Newtown to try and overturn, I think. Especially like I said before, when you look at the two benches, it's not going to be too long, I don't think, before TNS goes to the bench and inject a little bit more energy into the match.
It's certainly an impressive bench for both sides. Robles stays inside there, beats the offside trap down on the right-hand flank over everyone though, and in the end Daniel's happy to watch that one out for a goal kick. Reece Thompson, the goalkeeper for the New Saints, John Routledge, Declan McManus, Adrian Chestovich, Blaine Hudson, Jared Harlock on loan from Blackburn Rovers, and Tom Jones. On the bench for Newtown, Sam Usher is the goalkeeper, Oliver Sharp, Ryan Sears, Kieran Mills-Evans, experienced defender, not necessarily what they need at the moment. Zeli Ismail is likely to be one of the contenders because he can push forward. Anak Boake and Dylan Downs. Stands 2-1 to the league leaders, the champions of Wales, the New Saints, here at Park Hall this afternoon. For us, it might be evening or morning for you, but thank you for joining us nevertheless. Brobble tried to feed that one into Rory Holden. Ball out of play, and it's a throw into TNS. Davis to Smith, to Wales C internationals there. Young, offside.
Yeah, another tight one. Yeah, I do think he probably just went a fraction too early there. Just moments before, actually, Brobble tried to reverse one into Holden, I think it was, and Brad Young was actually in bags of space. So it was unlike Brobble there not to pick out the right pass there.
It's about making the right decisions, Greg. I guess as a footballer, you can look at things afterwards and think, should have done this. But you're talking split seconds, aren't you, when you're out there on the pitch?
Yeah, I think, certainly when you're on the pitch and you're on the ball, it's, like I say, it's a matter of split seconds, and obviously the first thought that pops into your head is, more often than not, the one that you go with. And like I said before, Brobble's obviously seen the run of Holden and gone with that one, whereas actually the right pass was probably to find Brad Young, who had a lot more space and was clean through on goal. So.
Good play from the New Saints there, but in the end Redmond shows too much of that there to Evans. There is a free kick to the Robins. So Hughes, who goes down, gets up, but he wins a free kick. TNS already lining up there on the edge of the penalty area. Robles in a position way beyond them, in front of Roberts.
Bit of an awkward position this for a free kick, really. I mean, I'd be very surprised if this just isn't hung up to the back post and looking for a couple of the big boys to come on and try and head it back across goal. TNS playing with a very high line there, so be interested to see how this one comes out.
Robles happy to stay there in front of Connor Roberts as the ball is played in. It's Smith who gets the header. Now it's Evans into the penalty area. He looks for Sutton. He wins the header there. And in the end, it's Cowans looks to place it, but puts it wide of Roberts' left post. Danger over.
Yeah, probably really disappointing for Newtown manager there. It's in not a fantastic position, but certainly a position where they'd have, if they want to get anything out of this game, they're going to have to take much better advantage of.
Robble appealing for a free kick there, saying that he was held back. Referee having none of that though. Tomo in the referee today, assisted by Ian Bird and Ethan Goatley and Richard Wright, the fourth official. And the referee observer Stephen Amos. Oswald down near the corner flag. Crowded out by the green and white shirts. They managed to get that one forward. Headed in, headed back, and Sutton on the deck. Hughes. Jones looks for the return there. Callum Roberts to take the throw in. Headed on by Oswell for Robles. Offside though, against the ex-TNS forward man. I remember when he signed from Ballatown, he'd been having a good time there, finding the back of the net and putting in some good performances. Obviously caught the attention of Scott Rusco at the time.
Yeah, I think he was he at Bangor before that as well, I think. Done really well wherever he's been. Like I say, very versatile, can play a number of positions. Always a handful, you know what you're going to get from him. He's a very honest lad, and he's certainly making a nuisance of himself tonight.
And he's a fluent Spanish speaker as well, which isn't a surprise really because he's Spanish. He's born in Liverpool, but Spanish heritage.
He's still got that Scouse accent about him, though. It's a bit of an interesting combination.
Very interesting indeed. Young chases after that one, Wycherley out the penalty area. And in the end, the goalkeeper lets that one run behind. Takes a tumble, but gets up and gets the ball. Still just that one goal separating the sides. We're into the final 20 minutes at Park Hall. And thank you for joining us today on TNS TV as we continue our international live stream broadcasts. Another initiative from our chairman, Mike Harris, as he drives not only the club but also the league and Welsh football in general forward. And as far as on the pitch is concerned, the New Saints have a 15 points gap going into today's game. So Wycherley takes the goal kick. Header won there by Williams. Then Sutton gets that header and Williams another one. Oswell, I think he managed to get a touch of that with the back of his heel, but he runs through fortuitously to Roberts, all in purple today. The TNS goalkeeper saved a penalty in 4 different competitions so far this season. And I can remember when he saved a penalty against Liverpool and Wolverhampton Wanderers in pre-season friendlies behind closed doors.
When was that?
Oh, it's a few years ago. That's when Paul Harrison was the number one. But obviously pre-season friendlies, you get to have a run out as well.
No, like I say, he's got a fantastic record this season. You know, there's certainly no one better at saving penalties or saving shots in general. He's very imposing as a goalkeeper, and unfortunately he'll be disappointed to concede a goal today after a great run of clean sheets.
And the Liverpool game was at the training ground, and if I remember correctly, Wolves was when we played at Lilleshall against them. So we're going back some years, aren't we? Robles. And that took the sting out of it there. Davis, as the New Saints get underway again, pushing forward, looking for the third goal. That at this stage of the game would probably, we can't say anything definitively, can we? But would probably take the sting out of the They've lost 3 games on the bounce going into today's game, which has seen them slip from 3rd place down to 4th, but just that 1 point behind Ballatown. So still plenty to play for. After today we see the league split. The top 6 and the bottom 6. Redmond into the penalty area for Holden to chase. Game pumped forward, looking for Oswell, but 2 against 1 works out in favour of the New Saints. Now it's Pask who comes forward. Game given away though. Some sloppy play at time from both sides. The Robins are trailing 2-1 to the Saints. Wycherley, nice and calm there to Sutton. Then pumped forward down the right hand side for Robles to get on the end of, but Pask alert, right footed. It's that first time back to Roberts. Plenty of time there. Looks for Brobble. Is he held back there by Roberts? He appeals for it, but no, the referee allows play to continue anyway because Young surges forward, goes for goal, and in the end, another save there from Wycherley. Brad Young showing what he's capable of there, showing what he can do, and a good save again from Wycherley. There's Brad Young, surges forward, gets the shot in, and Wycherley pushes that one over.
And this might be where we see the first sub. Brad Young gone down with, looks like cramp in his calf or hamstring there. And wouldn't be surprised if we see McManus introduced very soon.
Declan McManus, could he be making an introduction? We spoke to Craig Harrison in the press conference about Deck, and we spoke about injuries in general, of course, and we spoke about McManus and having come back from such a long injury. Well, he had a great comeback, didn't he? He scored with his first touch, free kick here at Park Hall. But, of course, managing the player, and that's always important as well. And Greg, I guess with the women as well, although they're not full-time, although you don't have as much contact with them as Craig does with the men, you still have to apply the same principles there.
In terms of keeping players happy?
in terms of player contact, and managing players and players coming back from injury and making sure that they're not pushed in too soon. Yeah,
it's certainly, we've got a prime example at the moment. One of the new signings, Chloe Shirley, who we signed at the start of the season. She started the season really well. Unfortunately, rolled her ankle and ruptured some ligaments in her ankle. So she's been out for about probably getting on for 4 months now. So she's just on the verge of returning to sort of contact training. James Steer's done a brilliant job with her, and I must say, it comes down to the player's attitude. She's been, she hasn't missed a session in terms of rehab or in the gym or physio, so she's worked unbelievably well, and it's just it's all moving in the right direction. Fingers crossed we can get her back on the pitch as soon as possible because she's a brilliant player. But yeah, it's obviously something you've got to be very mindful of, is not pushing players back onto the pitch too soon and having more setbacks.
Yeah, there you go. Young replaced by McManus. The first change of the game for the New Saints, an enforced one there. Brad Young still receiving treatment from behind the goal, and it's going to be a corner, of course, because Wycherley pushed that one over from Young. Marriott runs for the option of the short. It's not taken though. It's into the penalty area. Redmond, can he get his foot on it? Can he get a shot in? He can, but certainly not on a target on that occasion. And what about keeping players happy, Greg? You've mentioned that there. That's always difficult, especially when you've got players like in the ladies' team who aren't on contract and they just want to play, don't they? How difficult is that?
Yeah, exactly. I'd say it's it's harder than when they're full-time professionals. They're at the end of the day, that's their job, and they're expected to apply themselves properly day in, day out, whether they're in the team or not. So yeah, certainly when you've got players that aren't on contracts and it's not their full-time jobs, it's even more difficult, because if they're not playing every week, they're unhappy. It's a lot easier for them to leave. So yeah, it's certainly a challenge, but we seem to be managing okay at the moment.
Robles did well there for the visitors into the penalty area. Pask nodded it down. Davies cleared, and as long as it's 2-1, well, they're still very much in this, aren't they?
Yeah, again, never Another good cross. I just think that they're running out of steam. They're not quite getting as many numbers in the box as what they were in the first half. But as I say now, we've conceded a free kick in a dangerous area, and Newtown will be looking to take full advantage here.
Another free kick on the left-hand side. Very similar position to the previous one, where Robles was standing in front of Conor Roberts in the penalty area. That's not the tactic this time. Looks like Cowans is going to float that one in. There's a vacuum between the line of players and Roberts. That's where the ball goes. The players move, and comfortable header, well, a comfortable save in the end there. Oswald went for goal, but Roberts, comfortable save. Balls that one out as TNS play from the back. Greg, what we want to know is, about 10 minutes to go, are we going to see any more goals? We keep talking about this fourth goal, but is there going to be one?
I think there will be more goals. I think TNS is going to score another one. McManus has just come onto the pitch, and he's seems to have a knack of scoring when he does come off the bench, as he does when he starts as well. But Newtown are certainly looking for 3 points here, so they're certainly not going to sit back and accept 2-1. They're going to push numbers forward, and like I said, I think TNS's fitness will certainly create another good 2 or 3 chances yet.
And we'll be going with our Henstone Distillery Player of the Match in due course, and whoever is nominated will get a quality product. Our chairman's part owner there, of course, now, Henstone Distillery. Greg, well, Aberystwyth are winning. Oh, that's pulled Robles back there. Aberystwyth are winning 1-0 against Barrytown United. There's been a flurry of goals since. 4 further goals. What's the score?
4 further goals in the Aberystwyth.
4 more goals. Aber were 1-0 up. There's been 4 more goals. What's the score?
I will go 3-2 to Aber.
4-1 to Barrytown United. And Cardiff met against Carnarvon. There's been goals there. It was 1-0 to Carnarvon. There's been 3 more goals.
3 more goals. I think Carnarvon are comfy now. 3-1.
2-2. Haverfordwest is still 1-0 to the good. Still 0-0 Penabont and Connors Key Nomads. Ryan Brobble, can he get TNS his 3rd goal? He can't. Manages to poke it through to McManus though, and in the end it's Redmond out to Daniels on the right hand side, back in field to Redmond. It's on his left foot, he goes for goal and drills that low and wide. And Colwyn Bay were 1-0 down. There's been 2 goals on the North Wales coast. What's the score?
I think Colwyn Bay is still losing.
They are 2-1. As we edge towards the final whistle in all these games. It's a substitution there. Ishmael comes on for the Robins. As Oswell goes off. Jason Oswell, been around Welsh football for a good number of years. Experience of playing further afield as well. As it stands at the moment though, Greg Carnarvon are just into the top 6. They've got the same number of points as Haverfordwest County, but they've got -1 goal difference compared to -2.
Yeah,
wow.
Haverfordwest need a couple goals.
They do indeed.
With time running out.
They do indeed. But here at Park Hall, TNS a lead 2-1. 7 minutes to go before the board puts in a final appearance as far as that context is concerned. Ismail got a touch just now. Ex-Wolverhampton Wanderers player. Never really broke into the first team in the sense of establishing himself. Has been with Newtown for a while now. Great play from Redmond to McManus. Spots the keeper off the line. What a goal! Declan McManus. Redmond presented him with the ball. Looked up. Witcherly off the line. 3-1. Greg Draper, is that game set and match here at Park Hall?
Yeah, that's definitely game done. Like I said before, McManus got a great knack of scoring goals when he comes off the bench. Gifted one there. I think it was Ishmael who gave the ball away cheaply, literally miles off his line, and McManus done really well there to execute the lob.
There we spot Declan McManus, inch of perfect over the keeper into the back of the net. It's 3-1 to the New Saints, who went into this game 15 points clear at the top of the table. We have another substitution there. Adrian Cheslovich comes on for Jordan Williams. Goals so far from Brad Young, Jordan Williams and Declan. No, it's not Jordan Williams, who's gone off.
It was actually Rory Holden.
Rory Holden went
Jordan
off.
Williams and has just come across here to the right wing.
Yeah, it's okay. I can't see down there. Do you know, I'll let you into a secret, Greg. I don't like heights. So when they're making the substitutions down there, I don't like looking down.
Don't look down, just out.
So all I saw was Jordan Williams coming across, and that was good enough for me, but not quite good enough, was it? Because it was Rory Holden who's been replaced. And it is a very open gantry here at Park Hall. We are on the edge, and I do have a little peer over sometimes. Not keen on heights. But as far as TNS is concerned, we love the heights, don't we? Top of the table, 15 points clear going into today's game. And if it stays a 0-0 between Penabont and Connors Quay Nomads, and TNS win this, well, it'll be a 17 points gap at the top of the table with just 10 games to go. That's a healthy position. Even if it's 15, it's a brilliant position to be in.
Yeah, I mean, TNS can afford to, within 3 or 4 games for the second phase, they'll have the league wrapped up, and then they can start sort of, thinking about preparing for Europe and trying a few different things.
Well, Connors Quay Nomads have just taken the lead, Greg. So it might just be a 15 points gap at the. Is that offside there against McManus? Any more goals, do you think, Greg?
It looks like it. It looks like there's going to be more chances. Newtown has certainly committed numbers forward, and they haven't given up the hope of getting at least a point out of this game. It's going to be very difficult, I think, but Newtown certainly look very open every time TNS is going forward at the moment.
Ball played forward by Roberts, headed forward by Sutton. Daniels gets a header from inside the penalty area there. Still with Newtown, nothing to lose though at this stage, but the ball played into the TNS box, bounces behind, and it's a goal kick. It's 3-1 to the New Saints here at Park Hall. 15 points lead going into today's game, and with Connors Quay Nomads just taking a very late lead themselves against Penabont, it could be as you were. Jordan Williams spots the keeper off the line on that occasion, though, just wide of Wycherley's left post. I think he was inspired there, wasn't he, by Declan McManus?
Yeah, the ball sat up nicely for him. He's done really well to roll his defender inside there. And, it was a half-decent effort, to be fair. Obviously, the keeper was in no man's land once again. And unfortunate not to add to his goal that he's already scored.
87.5 minutes played, 2.5 to go. Then some additional time at the end of the 90. There'll be a few minutes there added, of course, due to injuries. Roberts for the visitors, straight through to Davis, who hooks that down to Daniels. Passed as well there. It was a short ball. Happy to put that out of play because it keeps the danger away from the TNS goal. There's Craig Harrison there on the edge of the technical area. The TNS head coach. The most successful manager in Welsh domestic football. Davis managed to get a touch on that, and Redmond to McManus. Now is the chance for the New Saints, looking to get that 4th goal. Cheslovich on the left-hand side, fresh pair of legs. Now to Marriott, edge of the box, on his right foot. Gets that one back. Red shirts in front of him. Williams. Marriott forced back slightly the New Saints, but still keeping possession. Now it's Smith. Cheslovich on the left, up against Cowans. Cheslovich, low ball into Marriott in the penalty area. Gets the shot in, but blocked by Sutton. In the end, bounces through to a very grateful Wycherley. TNS looking for that fourth goal. I think we can say now, Greg, can't we, that it's all over. What about man of the match?
I think obviously the 3 points are very safe. I think there's been two standout players for me. I think Danny Redmond's been really good in midfield, as has Ryan Brobble. But I think I'm going to go with Chris Marriott today. I think Chris Marriott's looked really solid defensively, but he's also stepped into midfield quite a lot, got on the ball, and he sort of got things going for TNS really. He's obviously a very clever player. He's kept things ticking over. You see him now sitting in midfield there. He was actually in the 18-yard box there trying to score himself a goal as well. So I think man of the match today I'll give it to Chris Marriott.
McManus showed too much of that there to the defender Smith. Chris Marriott is the player of the match this afternoon, and well deserved. And often we go for goal scorers, don't we? But it's nice to go for someone like Marriott, who hasn't found his name on the score sheet today, but nevertheless has been a valuable contributor to what's been going on around him.
Yeah, I just think he hasn't put a foot wrong. Like I said, defensively he's solid week in, week out. Positional sense is unbelievable, very good in the air, neat and tidy on the ball. And like I said, he's stepped into midfield today on a number of occasions, and just started things off for the TNS on the attack.
Change for the visitors. Boaki comes on, and Williams goes off. Is that one goal for Newtown this afternoon? I'd have liked to have added to that tally, of course, especially when you look at the fact that the New Saints have scored 3 times. And thank you for joining us on our international broadcast from Park Hall, the home of the champions of Wales. Surely that was a hold there from Sutton on McManus, and the referee pulls that up in the end. Good referee, and he was allowing a possible advantage, but nothing came of it. So it's a free kick to the league leaders, the New Saints, 3-1 up as well here this afternoon. And Chris Marriott, a well-deserved player of the match. Keeping an eye on the scores elsewhere. Not looking good for it. Greg, Colin Bay equalised. I was so excited I didn't get a chance to ask you who scored the goal. Colin Bay equalised. They're 90 plus 5 at the end of the game. Aberystwyth have pulled one back, but they still trail 4-2. Full time between Cardiff Met and Carnarvon. Haverfordwest, it's 1-1. So it will be Carnarvon in the top 6. Well, that was a really late goal there from... No, Pontypridd have taken the lead, Greg. It's 3-2. So it's a 3-2 to Pontypridd. In fact, the timeline is ahead of the app, because 90 plus 5, Cummings has found the back of the net, and it's 3-2, although the app itself is still showing a 2-2. That's a mistake there if you're a Colin Bay fan, but no, it isn't. It's been confirmed. It's 3-2 to Pontypridd United. Newtown looking for what would be nothing more than a consolation goal at this stage. 3-1 up. 5 added minutes at the end of the game, and we've played 3 of them. Thank you for joining us this afternoon here at Park Hall. We do appreciate it. It's a late afternoon, of course, because it was a 5:15 kickoff, so we're into evening ourselves now. And it will be the New Saints, certainly the happier of the 2 teams come the final whistle. 1.5 minutes to go. It's TNS who lead 3-1. A tough one for you tomorrow, Greg, as you said already. They don't come any tougher than that, do they? Cardiff City women.
No, they certainly don't. But we can go out there, nothing to lose, no pressure. But we're on a great run, and we'll certainly be going out there as Newtown have done today. We'll certainly be going out there tomorrow and doing what we can to get 3 points.
Ballot have taken the lead at Haverfordwest, so Cardiff, Carnarvon confirmed. Great save there from Roberts as well just now in this game. Although we're deep into added minutes, we're into the 5th minute. Newtown looking to get a second goal. That 6-yard box is extremely congested as the ball comes in. Edited out though by the New Saints. Williams back defending. Now it's a chance for Cheslovich. Smith on the race forward. Is he offside? Well, he held back there. He knew that he was. There's Boake. Sweeps that one into the centre of the park for Evans. Now with Ismail. TNS happy to get players behind the ball at this stage of the game as the referee blows for the final time this afternoon. We do appreciate your company. We've enjoyed that very much indeed. Don't forget to keep checking our website and social media for when we're back on air again with our international live stream. It's ended 3-1 to the New Saints here at Park Hall. We'll enjoy the rest of our weekend. As for Greg Draper, well, I'll enjoy mine, but it depends what happens tomorrow as far as you're concerned, Greg.
Yeah, mine's certainly not over, but no, we'll give it our best shot. Fantastic 3 points for New Saints today. Certainly improved a lot after the half-time break, and I think on the overall balance of play, I think we're fully deserved of the 3 points today.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, as we say, and it's the New Saints who celebrate come the final whistle, continuing to lead the way at the top of the table with a 15 points gap over Connah's Quay Nomads in second place as we head on into the final 10 games. Here are the goals. Brad Young opens the scoring. Great strike there past Andy Wycherley, and it's 1-0 at that stage to the New Saints. Brad Young again. Another angle past Wycherley. Looking good for TNS at that particular moment. But the Robins never give up as they bounced back. Cowans on the right hand side. Ball played across off Oswell into the back of the net. Roberts dives, but in vain. 1-1. Not looking too good, but we have the benefit of seeing the big picture, of course, because it was the third goal going the way of TNS. Redmond, beautiful chip there to Jordan Williams, beat Wycherley, left-footed, past the keeper, and the New Saints restored the lead 2-1. Jordan Williams scored a brace in midweek against Gilsfield in the Nathaniel MG Cup, the Welsh League Cup. Got another one today. And then McManus. Redmond again to McManus. Spots an opportunity, looks up. Perfect. Over Wycherley into the back of the net. Redmond did very well there. Spotted McManus. Fantastic finish from the Scottish striker. And that's how the game ended. 3-1. Thank you for your company today, and we hope to see you again in the future.